So now we will be discussing the concept of double circulation. This happens mostly in mammals. Okay, so specifically when we are speaking for humans, we are mammal category, and it's not that every animals will go through the same process of double circulation. Few of them listed out in the mammal category does that. Now the reason for double circulation is also that animals which maintain a fixed body temperature, okay, like when we say for humans the temperature is around 37 degrees Celsius, and our whole body system works in such a manner that it tries to maintain that temperature. Yes, there can be a plus and a minus like 36, 38, that's fine, but constantly keeping the body temperature at 37, our body system works a lot to do that. And technically, so we are now going to be speaking for the double circulation. From the word itself, you must have understood that double means two times, twice there is a circulation. So the figure that you see on the left side is a simple schematic diagram in which we understand how the blood is going to flow. But yes, before that we need to understand there are two systems that will work in this double circulation. One is your pulmonary system, okay, and the second is your systemic circulatory system. Okay, so there will be two circulation, pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. Okay, now the lungs is the main organ that is going to help in inducing the oxygen into the blood. Okay, so we have in detail studied that there are two sides of the heart, one is the left and one is the right. So this one is the left and this one is the right chambers, right? And the left one deals with oxygenated blood and the right one deals with deoxygenated blood. Okay, so let's say that the blood has entered from the lungs and it enters into the left atrium, goes into the left ventricle, and then through the pulmonary circulation, that is what we're studying, through the aorta, it's going to be passed through different body parts. So the left side that we see is all dealing with oxygenated blood, which is coming from the lungs, going to the left chambers, and from there it is going to different body parts. Now once they go to different body parts, then these are going to be connecting through the capillaries, and the capillaries are then later going to connect to veins, from where it is going to carry the deoxygenated blood, and all these deoxygenated blood will enter through the vena cava. We have discussed there are two types of vena cava, inferior and the superior, depending on from which range of system, from which organs the deoxygenated blood is taken up. So be it the inferior or the superior vena cava, both are going to enter into the right atrium. Then from there it will enter the right ventricle, and from there it is pushed to the pulmonary artery where it goes to the lungs. Now the same blood will be getting the oxygen and coming back to the heart, and this keeps going. So let's briefly understand. One was that the deoxygenator went here and then it comes back to heart, and then from heart it's going to different body parts, then it is entering here again. So the same blood enters the heart two times, and that is why we call this circulation in human body to be termed as double circulation, because the same blood enters the heart two times, right? Now we will go through some points of discussion. This is how and why it is important. Significance, it's not mechanism. The question is, what is the significance of double circulation? So first of all, discussing the importance why there is a double circulation is, double circulation is a distinguishing characteristic of the human circulatory system. It is very significant as it allows for proper circulation of blood without the mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. First of all, yes, our human heart has been made such a way. There are chambers, the right dealing with a certain and left dealing with a certain blood. So we have already just discussed that left deals with the oxygenated blood and right deals with the deoxygenated. More careful they are with the valves present inside the heart between the two upper and the lower chamber, so that there is no backflow. And yes, the left and the right is also separated by septum. So anyways, there is a very high restrictions taking care of all the things, that there is no mixing happening within the blood, and also in the remaining part of the body system there shouldn't be any mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. And that is why, for making that sure, we have this kind of system. This separation of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood allows for an efficient supply of oxygen, and moreover to the body cells, and delivers a greater blood flow. Yes, so every cell in our body is receiving these blood, and these blood is not just oxygen carrying content, it's also carrying so many other things along with this, and we're making sure that all these are reaching to every cell of our body. And the blood flow, the rate of the blood flow has to be higher, and to achieve that we are having double circulatory system. The circulation is 2 times. Now apart from this, we will also discuss the mechanism. This was just the significance. Here is the mechanism. As I've already given it to you, that there are 2 systems in our body dealing with the double circulation. One is the pulmonary and one is the systemic pathway. So double circulation is the most efficient way of circulation. Here in humans, the 4-chambered heart, arteries, veins and capillaries all have a vital role to play. We have discussed all of these in detail, so we are not repeating that. Blood gets pumped out of the heart, and this blood goes to different organs, and then the blood again comes back to the heart. So all this happens in a very systematic way through the different arteries and veins carrying the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. We know arteries carry the AO, I told you. AO is arteries carrying oxygenated blood. Veins carry the deoxygenated blood, and they have a proper separate system, and no mixing will be there. And this double circulation happens to go in 2 ways. One is pulmonary pathway, and the next one is the systemic pathway, and that is what we are going to discuss now. So here, the pulmonary circulation, or the pathway, that pathway means through the path which it follows to achieve that circulation. It carries the deoxygenated blood from the right heart of the right side of the heart to the lungs, and exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place in the lungs, and the blood is now oxygenated. Now whatever deoxygenated blood was there, it goes from the right part of your chamber of the heart, and it goes to the lungs, correct? And at the lungs, it's getting all the oxygen, all the deoxygenated blood will now get oxygen, and then they will enter into the left part of your blood. So the left side, which was dealing with deoxygenated, that is your pulmonary circulation pathway. Then through the systemic circulation, all the oxygenated blood travels from the left side of the heart to the other areas. Yes, so this is your left side and this is your right side. So the left one deals with oxygenated blood. It has just got freshly coming from the lungs, and then this is given to the remaining parts of the body, and then there takes place a lot of things, exchange of gases, nutrients, waste through the lymph system also, we have discussed that. And this deoxygenated blood again goes back into the heart. It will enter here, right, towards the right atrium, and goes into the right ventricle, and then again it will go back to the lungs. So yes, the same blood goes into the heart 2 times, and that is what this whole double circulation system and mechanism and significance of that is all about. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can let me know.